Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we will go over my OneNote tips and tricks. I hope you will find some of these features useful. Let's get started. Did you know in OneNote you can extract text from a screenshot? Let's go ahead and do this together. Here are the steps, and the first step says to go ahead and press down on the window, Shift S. This will bring up a screen capture tool. I will go ahead and capture the steps right here, 1 through 5. And this placed the screenshot on my clipboard, so it's in memory. Now I will Control V to paste the text that I copied above. And next I will right click on the screen capture and select copy text from picture. And now let's see what it does. Control V, and you can see it copied over the text. I know the formatting is a little bit off, but most of the text, and actually all of the text, is captured. Next, shortcuts. This one I use most of these on a daily basis. Some of these I do use more frequent, but I believe this is my list of OneNote shortcuts that are pretty useful, and we will demonstrate each. First one, bullet points. In order to create a bullet point, the shortcut key on your keyboard is Control period, and this will automatically create a bullet point. 1, 2, and of course, you can use your mouse, which is not really the efficient way of using any programs, but of course, you always have the mouse option available. I always try to memorize the shortcut keys. That way I am more proficient. Next one is a numbered list. In order to start a numbered list, do Control / and this will create a number 1. 1, 2, 3. Next, if you are inside a table, which I am currently in, you can add a blank row by simply holding down the Control and the Enter key. Control Enter, and you can see a new row was added. So that's useful. Full screen. In order to go into full screen in OneNote, simply press the F11 key on your keyboard. And now we are in full screen and no distractions. If you want to get out of it, again, press the same key, F11. To-do list. And you can see most of these are Control 1 through 5. And what I mean by that is also up here. You can see the to-do list, Control 1, important, or a star is a Control 2, question mark, Control 3, and this one is a Control 4, you highlight or remember for later. Definition. So again, as I stated before, you can use the mouse, but in my case, I always prefer to use the keyboard because it's much quicker instead of looking around the different options. So let's go ahead and do the Control 1. 1, 2, 3, and let's do a 4 as well. Next, in order to do a star or tag it as important, Control number 2, important. And see, when I hit the Enter key, it didn't add the star automatically because it's not a to-do list. So you have to do a Control 2 each time for any important task. So that's something to remember. Control 2. And same goes for the question tag. Control 3. What does this mean? And see, when I hit enter, it doesn't add a question mark. So you have to do a Control 3. And this will add another question mark. Next. Remember for tagging later, and we'll do Control 4. This will highlight basically the word. Define word here. And I will go ahead and select the whole thing, Control 5, and you can see the whole sentence was defined. This one is a useful one. If you want to move, let's say, this whole row up and down, you can hold down the Shift, Alt, and the up arrow, and you can see it keeps going up. Or if I want to go down, I hold down Shift, Alt, and the down arrow, and you can see this goes up and down. What's nice about this, you can also select the whole section. So let's say I want to move this whole section up, and you can see it keeps moving the whole section up and down, which is pretty cool. Next, did you know that OneNote can do math for you by simply typing the 4 operators times, divide, plus, and minus? So if I do 90 plus 5, and you have to add the equal sign at the end. Now I will press enter, and OneNote will do this math for me. 100 divided by 2 equals 50. 5 times 5 equals 25. And the last one is 10 minus 5 equals, and I hit enter. This will automatically do the math for me. For now, we'll just use the 4 main operators. Move or indent, bullet, or numbering. So you can, basically move or indent the number or bulleting. What I mean by that is, let's go ahead with the bullet number. So task 1, hit enter. Task 2, and now I'm on task 2. I'm gonna hit down the I'm gonna hit down the Shift, Alt, right arrow, and this will indent to the next level. And if I do task 3, you can see I can move back and forth. As I'm moving the Shift, Alt, left, right, it keeps indenting the different. Same thing with numbers. You can be in a bullet format, but simply hit down the Control / and this will change to a number 1, A, and if I hit a tab before the A, it also works the same way. It tabs it or it indents it, or you can use the Shift Alt. If you want to create a new page, simply hit Control +N. This will be a new page. So you can see how keyboard shortcuts are very useful. So in order to add a new page, hit down the Control N. Next, if you want to create a new section, and the sections are these tabs. To me, they look like tabs. And that's why probably Microsoft called it a T, Control T, to create a new tab. But if you hover over here, it says create a new section. So let's go ahead and hit the Control T. This is a new section, also known as tab, smiley face. Oh, look, OneNote doesn't allow special characters. New section, or AKA tab. So yeah, you can add new sections. You can do finding on page, which is very similar across basically every other application. Control F, and you can find all the apply hits on here. Very self-explanatory. Next one is go to the next page. You can use the mouse, which I don't recommend. Let's use the keyboard. Control page down, and you can see I'm at the new page. Control page down. This will be a new page, so you can just go page down and page up while holding the control key to simply go up the pages here on the right. You can do spell checking. You can see that ABC is not spelled correctly, apparently. So I will put my cursor anywhere in between A, B, and C and hit the F7. And now proofing comes up, and you can see Microsoft recommends to either replace ABC with capital ABC or ABS, I guess, for your car brakes, and ARC, which anyway, F7 will be spell checking. Next one, open the thesaurus for the current selected word. So in this case, let's go ahead and select the thesaurus and do Shift F7. And this basically does a dictionary of what does thesaurus mean. Lexicon, vocabulary, glossary, word list, dictionary. So that's a pretty neat one to have because, as you can tell, English is not my first language. Matter of fact, it is my third language. I do speak 3 languages. So this comes in very useful if you want to see strikethrough. What does strikethrough mean? Shift F7 and you can see, well, Microsoft doesn't have any recommendation. How about previous? Shift F7. Well, previous it does have. Preceding, earlier, prior. So yeah, you kind of get the point. It's very useful to have. You can highlight selected text by holding down Control-Shift-H. Let's go ahead and highlight the word text. Control-Shift-H, and it highlights, which you can see the remember tag, it's still yellow, but the remember tag for later is more deeper yellow. This one is kind of light yellow. So that's the difference. Don't get confused here. You can strike through by simply, you don't have to highlight the whole word. You can just have the cursor anywhere within the word and do the control hyphen, which control dash or control minus, but it does have to be on the non-numeric keyboard. This one is a useful one. Again, it's 1 through 6, Control Alt, and you can see it applies different headings. And when I say headings, I am talking about these headings up here under the styles. You can see you have heading 1, and even Microsoft tells you the keyboard shortcut, Control Alt 1, Control Alt 2, and so on. So let's go ahead through this practice. Control Alt 1, that's heading 1, 2, Control Alt 3, Control Alt 4, 5, and 6. So quickly you can apply different headings. And again, let's say if you want to apply the normal style, let me go ahead and select this, and I will hit Control Shift N, and this will apply the normal style, which is down here. And Microsoft hints you Control Shift N. So Microsoft is pretty good about showing you these different shortcut keys when you hover over with your mouse. Please note that my normal style is Calibri 11, but for demo purposes, everything else is Calibri 12. So if I go one row up, you can see it's 12. I like this one. Insert the current date. Alt-Shift-D, and it is March 5th, 2022. If I want to insert the current date and time, Alt-Shift-F, and to me the F means full. You want the full date and time. That's how I remember. And if you want the current time, Alt-Shift-T, and it is 10:29. And you can see that by the time I did this one, it was 10:28 p.m. and now it is 10:29. So it does grab your current time frame. Lastly, you can expand lists, basically expand to level 1 through 9. And what I mean by this, I'm gonna get out of this, and I'm just gonna say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm gonna highlight all of this and say Control / and now I have a list. I just have a different expansion level here. So if I want to collapse all of these, it says collapse to the level 1. I'm gonna go ahead and hold down the Alt-Shift-1, and this will expand to the first level. If I want to expand all levels, I will do right here Alt-Shift-0, Alt-Shift-0, and actually I will select the whole box, Alt-Shift-0, and you can see it expands all of the different levels. So yeah, I don't really use this much, but if you want to expand everything, you can use the Alt-Shift-1 through 9 plus 0. And the last one, sometimes I need to expand this right pane. You can do it with the mouse, which you kind of have to precisely go over this line here and then grab it and resize it. Or you can use the keyboard shortcut, Control Shift, open bracket, close bracket. So let's try this. Control Shift, open bracket. This will increase the size. And let's do Control Shift, close bracket. And you can see as I'm pressing this, it decreases the size. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit that thumbs up button and consider subscribing to my channel. I will be uploading more tips and tricks. And thank you for watching.